it, no, I don't want it, or and just go on with it. So I think that it's very interesting. Well, it's very appealing, and it's interesting in the fact that there's going to be less energy to put in to put
Mm-hmm.
into that.
Mm-hmm.
uh and from what I see, like, and I know it might sound childish, but I think that it has its importance, is the fact that you have a lot of colors, right? You
Yeah.
have a lot of colors, so it makes the whole thing much more simple to understand, and well, and to remember, because when you look at many properties, I mean, at one point you're just gonna forget, right? But
Mm-hmm.
the colors, it makes it easier for you to remember.
Exactly. Okay. Perfect. And concerning the current properties that you have, um, do you see any features that might help you manage your properties in the mockups that we just saw, for example?
So in the mock-ups that I've seen, so I have to be honest with you, I really looked at the prices and all of that,
Mm-hmm.
and the way it would help me manage my property would be this. All right, it would be that you would be you would be monitoring the prices in like in my area, so Montreal, in my city, and you'd be able to tell me um whether I'm over the price, the current price for what I have, or if I would be below. You see, if I would be
Okay.
over mark, I would be too expensive, or cheap.
Okay.
So it's one thing that could help me, first of all, attract more tenants,
Mm-hmm.
if I'm looking for one, and it would help me also keep an eye on whether uh, I could make more money out of it, or if I'm
Mm-hmm.
losing money due to the fact that I'm under the price of the market.
Okay. So, for example, you need some information about, let's say, the demography, the
Mm,
unemployment rate on your area.
mm,
What are the other apartments are renting for? For example, just to give you like a bracket where you can put your type of your apartment.
mm-hmm,
Um, so if you look at the very bottom of the screens, there is a part dedicated for that.
mm-hmm,
That's gonna give you the population of your neighborhood,
mm,
what type of economics are there, and how is the renting market is behaving right there. So
okay,
that can give you like a little insight instead of,
okay,
because I know that, for example, when we need to rent something, we usually gonna put a false ad or listing on Kijiji, for example, and
mm-hmm,
see if how the market is reacting. So
mm-hmm,
instead of doing this, now you can have a tool that's gonna give you what are the comparables around you and give you an average, and it's gonna be way much easier for people to manage. Yeah.
mm-hmm,
And let's say you want to do some repairs also, you can add those repairs on your dashboard,
mm-hmm,
and as soon as you updated those repairs, it's gonna give you, for example, an average price where you can put the new rent,
oh,
maybe put
okay,
it up, etc. So if you look at the screen with the cash flow that you can earn, it's the 1 2 3. You see, I'm sorry I can't share my screen because as soon as I share, the video cuts.
okay.
Let me see. If you see the screen that says how does it work,
Da, 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 da. How does it work? Could you give me the page?
yeah, the page is number 8. Sorry,
Okay, number 8. Okay, yes, I found it.
8.
Yes.
Just underneath that one, you have your yield calculation. So,
Mm-hmm.
for example, there you can put what type of repairs you want to do, if it's the
Okay.
bathroom, the living room, the
Mm-hmm.
kitchen, etc. And it's gonna adjust automatically the results that you have on the right hand corner, and it's gonna
Mm-hmm.
give you your yield and your cash flow. It can also give you information about when to sell your property at the right time,
Mm-hmm.
based on forecast as well.
Mm-hmm.
And our plan is to use a little bit of artificial intelligence to
Okay.
gather all the data of the market and be able to give you a clear and simple idea of the market without any bias from any realtor or something like this, just based on data. And then after, as you said earlier, you can add your how do you say, your opinion on it, and
Mm-hmm.
maybe try to see if you have any other clue that can help you, etc.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really like to manage your property on top of it also as well. Yeah.
That's really
And
interesting because
yeah, one
I've
other feature that we are trying to add, if you look at the screen number 3,
mm-hmm.
so basically those are the transactions that's gonna update your dashboard. So we're
Okay.
trying to link your bank account
Mm-hmm.
to the platform, but only on read mode. So there is like a security. We're not going
Mm-hmm.
into your account. It's just to pull out the transaction from your property. Let's say any expenses that you may have, like taxes, um, mortgage payments, or any other things. For example, repairs that you might have done during the month. We're
Mm-hmm.
gonna generate them and populate them on the app for you. And
Mm-hmm.
same thing for the revenue. So when your tenant pays the mortgage, it's gonna be updated automatically. So that
Okay.
way, on the first screen, if you look at it, the first page, you'll
Mm-hmm.
see the revenues for the month and the expenses, and it's gonna
Okay.
give you month to month your cash flow, where you're going, and uh, what how can you do to maybe ameliorate your cash expenses or
Mm-hmm.
your revenue on each of your properties.
Well, I mean, I mean, well, there's a lot of interesting things in what you, I mean, it's like having your own bank account, uh, on your management page. So
Exactly.
that would make it even, that would make it interesting because you wouldn't need
Hmm.
to go and look at different places to get all of your info. So that's very good. And on top of that, the fact that it adjusts itself with the repairs that you make to the apartments. That I mean that's an interesting feature, to be honest with you.
Yeah. And we want
It's,
also to guide people with repairs, any other
mm-hmm,
tips that may help, for example, banking tips,
mm-hmm,
if you need to buy a new property, maybe help people with the rates, etc.
okay,
If they do repair, maybe recommendation for where to go,
mm-hmm.
etc. So those are the things we're working on. But right now, I just want to find my MVP, and I would like to ask you this question: what type of things that you think we should keep and maybe we should remove when we try to build this project at first glance, for example?
Well, at first glance, while you do have some, because I mean, we know that it's real estate, so there are a lot
Mhm,
of data that is going to be similar, right? But I think that, to be honest with you, like that's the first glance, right?
mhm,
I didn't really dive deep in it, but what I'm going to tell you is that from what I see, you should keep things the way they are, because you have on one side you have the classic approach where you
mhm,
have all the info, all the data that you can find on any other site, but then
mhm,
you have some features that it helps you calculate, how uh, to get the money from your repairs back into your rent.
mhm,
If how it increased or improved the value of your property, uh and the fact that you can basically have your bank account on read and have all the data related to your to the management of your property, it makes it easier. I mean,
Okay.
that way, while it's true that I was talking more about the relationship with your tenant. That way, you can build a relationship and also have the hard facts right there, and so you know how to better respond to your tenant's need, and if you can, like if they ask you for something, that if you have the amount to the money for that, and if you do put it for them, there's going to be a price change, and you would be able to be transparent with what would be the increase on their rent. So
Okay.
it wouldn't be like just like, oh, I did this, so I'm going to increase by this number. Now
Okay,
you
I
could do
see.
it like you can do scientifically, with a method behind it that would be fair for both parties. So I think that's something that is very good, and that you should definitely keep. I
Okay.
mean, you would have like I said, the normal side of things, plus you add that bonus, and I think that having that normal side plus that bonus, I mean, would help people like me just go like, oh, okay, so I can just basically go ahead and get with these guys, and it'll be easy. I would be able to still do it myself by myself, but have a little help on the side, so that uh,
Okay.
it would be less energy consuming. I would say.
Exactly. And now, I would like to know, for example, for a platform like this, um, would you, for example, use it, and maybe how much are you willing to pay per month, let's say, to use this type of product? Or you're looking maybe for it to be free, or I don't know exactly. What are your thoughts on it?
Well, uh, I mean, if I were in your shoes, I would put the normal data, plus perhaps one or two of your special features, but base that would still be basic.
Mm-hmm.
I would do that part for free, right? So I
Mm-hmm.
would go with I would have that how do you call that? That you would subscribe, that subscription that would be basic, that would be free, and then you would add then you add some features, then it makes it more expensive, and then you could go up like to two or three
Mm-hmm.
types of subscriptions. That's what I would do. Now, me, the way I see it, because sometimes numbers are really difficult, right? Because you don't know how much because I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it's something new, that so I can't really compare. So me, what I like to do, I would go off the percentage of a rent, for instance,
Okay.
because that way, for me, it makes it like a partnership. Like, I know
Mm-hmm.
that if everything, like I said, like the beginning of this call, like I told you, like it's always about relationship, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when the bond is strong, I don't mind, like I would say, like, I don't know, like I'm just putting a number like that, but I would be like, I would give you like 5 to 10% of my rent for you to
Mm-hmm.
help me with all these services.
Okay. 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 Perfect. I'm just writing it. So that will give you the peace of mind, for example, if you know that you have the peace of mind of managing your property, you give 5 to 10% for that.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
5% would be like a sure thing. Then then we
Mm-hmm.
could negotiate up to 10%,
Mm-hmm.
depending on how many properties, and and all of
Mm-hmm.
that. But I mean, yeah, 5%, 5 to 10% is something that would be somewhat fair.
Okay. And let's say a rent in Montreal is about what, 1,500 in average, I would say.
Mm. So it would be like 75 to 150, like depending,
Okay.
like I said, depending on how many, like
Depending.
if I have like 10 properties that are with you, 10 to, like, let's say I have 10
Mm-hmm.
properties, then I wouldn't mind giving you like 10% off of,
Mm-hmm.
I
Okay.
mean, because it makes it easier, and I don't have to, to have somebody that's looking in it, because I think that it would cost me more to have people
Mm,
in on that than just
okay, perfect. Okay, and is there anything else that we maybe missed that can help you personally on your for your properties that you might thought of, or let's say in terms of the product, let's say if you look at the screen number, let me see, so, the fifth one.
hmm
So here are like a template of pretty much everything that we are going to do. So if you look, there is a alerts on the listing for people that are looking for properties
hmm
with the yield calculation. So basically, we're gonna analyze the property for them first before sending an alert based on their preferences. The yield simulator is what we've looked together earlier. There is the ranking also on the studies of where to invest. So this
hmm
is more for people looking for new areas to tap in.
hmm
Um, People also wanted to visit. There is a checklist that we can offer them to make sure they
hmm
didn't miss anything,
hmm
and anything also related to banking. The template. Let's say you have a project and you wanna
hmm
discuss it with your banker. We can offer you some insight on it.
hmm
Um, you can also have a purchase offer template and a Google Chrome extension. So basically, whenever you're going on Kijiji, if you have the Google Chrome extension, when you're browsing there, you're gonna
hmm
have all the tools that are embedded in Askia
hmm
directly pulled out from any other website. So that can
hmm
help you in your research. So same thing if you wanna add some repairs and check all of this and see if you can add value to the property. Yeah. Is
hmm
there anything else maybe you think that we should add on those type of features that we're doing?
Well, right now it's very acquisition oriented, so
Mhm.
on that side, yes. I mean, like, it would be good to see how it works. Perhaps in the future you could have something. I don't. Well, it's basically up to you. Me, I'm just
Mhm.
looking from my angle. Perhaps on a way to have to screen tenants, for instance, for to
Okay.
screen potential tenants.
Screen tenants. Okay. Perfect.
Because that's, I mean, you can get any property you like, but if the tenants are not good, it could be more problematic. So even if the data is good, let's say I have a tenant that breaks a wall,
Mhm.
or breaks a mirror, or I don't know, breaks a window. I'm going to have to, to get the money out, if I can put it that way.
Yeah, that's a
So
really
yeah.
good idea because we can help people from the beginning of looking for an investment apartment
Mhm,
and help them during all the process until
mhm,
screening like potential tenant as you said,
mhm,
and that's going to be even more valuable for people because at the end of the day we make sure that they have the right people in their apartment also.
mhm,
Okay, I will note that one, yeah, for
mhm.
sure.
That
Perfect.
that's the only thing that I would say.
Okay, perfect. So thank you very much for all these insights and your help. It's been very helpful today. So
Mhm.
talk to you soon, and I
Yes.
will send you an email also about the discussion today. And
hmm
if, for example, there is any beta version of the product, we'll make sure
hmm
that if you would like to try it, we'll
hmm
do it with pleasure. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'm
Okay,
waiting for your email,
okay.
and I hope that we could, you know, we can have that relationship, and work a strong business bond
Thank you.
if we get
Thank
to
you.
that.
All right, see you.
All right, you take care.
Thank you.